Does the future for Sardinia's young people have to be beyond the horizon?
Magari fra 2, 3, 4, 5 mesi possa partire per una nuova avventura.
Sardinia is a lovely place, but just like for a holiday.
The older generation left to handle jobs they might have expected their children to do.
Finiranno le scuole, ma non so se che futuro avranno nel nostro lavoro.
Just 75 people in this town, and they say that by 2050 it could well be empty, and that half of this island's 1.5 million inhabitants could have gone too. How do you save the soul of Sardinia? Welcome to Beyond Borders.
Outside a cafe in a small Sardinian hill town, 4 young men in their 20s sing of loneliness and lost hope. They could equally be singing of a lost town, their town. Because in 50 years the population of Biti has more than halved, and Salvatore Ena has a decision to make. Should he go? Or should he stay?
The ship is there.
It's rugged farming country. If Salvatore stays, he'll be working with his father, 62-year-old Vito, as shepherd to a flock that produces milk for pecorino cheese.
Allora, è una pecora che ha circa 5 anni. E niente, è una pecora di razza sarda. E le condizioni... So this is good wool, yeah? La lana qui non ha valore.
Murga la mano zoja che nara come si mungeva prima. This is the milking in the another
Ecco
side.
come si mungeva prima. Si mungeva così.
Attento però.
Is it strong?
Si doveva tenere.
Isolate.
It's very sweet. Very sweet. Yeah, dolce.
Dolce.
Vito's recently bought another 70 hectares, which Salvatore believes is for him and his siblings in the hope that they will stay. Vito says he would have bought it anyway. There was money to be made from the cork trees, but little of that has stayed in Sardinia.
Il sughero viene utilizzato per fare I tappi per I vini pregiati, per I vini champagne, tante altre cose.
Sì, it's very good, very good.
Tante altre cose, possono essere le suole delle scarpe, il sughero.
And this is just very, very old.
Yeah.
It's 10 years since they did this.
Purtroppo il territorio ricchissimo di sughero non c'è una fabbrica o un laboratorio per poterlo trasformare in prodotto finale. Il problema forse è anche del territorio che causa lo spopolamento dei paesi dell'interno, anche quello, perché qui il territorio è più che altro basato solo, o perlomeno come elemento trainante, c'ha l'allevamento.
We'll return to Salvatore later, but his father's point is valid, not just when it comes to family that you hope won't leave. Because this mountainous region of Sardinia has been identified as a so-called blue zone, with more very old people than most other parts of the world. So if the young leave, who will look after them?
The most important social factors is the structure of the community, the fact that within this community elderly people are not left alone, are not abandoned. They are not put in nursing homes, for example. They are kept in the family, and usually there is at least one member of the family who take care of elderly people. Traditionally, it was one of the daughter, no, to take care of the old parents. I'm afraid that now this habit is fading down, is disappearing progressively. So I'm not sure that in the future the level of longevity of this population will persist.
A doctor with 1,500 patients explains the difficulties she faces with old people who no longer pay taxes and young people who leave and therefore also don't contribute.
È una zona oramai che si è andata via via spopolando, quindi prevalentemente sono rimasti gli anziani, liste d'attesa abbastanza lunghe, e comunque sono i maggiori fruitori naturalmente del sistema sanitario.
Which means that as the old die and the young depart, Sardinia will be emptying from both ends of the age range, and lives like those lived by these women in Villa Grande are unlikely to be enjoyed in Sardinia ever again. Assunta Floridou is 96. Her 4 brothers worked the fields.
D'inverno c'era il telaio perché i pastori certo avevano le pecore, facevano la tosatura, portavano la lana a casa e a casa le zie, le mamme, le nonne le lavoravano, facevamo il telaio d'inverno per fare i vestiti dei pastori.
My question to you, Assunta, is does it seem very strange that your town is known for so many healthy old people?
No, forse sarà anche il vivere, sarà che ha lavorato sodo la gente, perché mia mamma quando se n'è andata aveva 100 anni e un mese esatto.
Sebastiana Mossoudou is 98 and only stopped ploughing her vineyard a year ago when her daughter told her to stop.
No, io ho una famiglia, non è ma è di oro posso dire, perché mi trattano bene. Non mi lasciano sola mai, io sono sempre a casa accompagnata e mi trattano bene. Non è nessuno alla lamentela di mio figlio, non ne ho di nessuno.
Giuseppe Niedu is painting murals of the old inhabitants of Villa Grande. This is Iola Usai's husband, Saturnino. She is a widow now, who's 95.
Why is he doing these paintings?
Perché mi piace disegnare, perché voglio lasciare un ricordo quando io sono morto, perché sono nato in questo vicinato. Ho giocato, tutti mi conoscono, tutti. Voglio lasciare un ricordo di dove sono nato, di dove ho vissuto.
Soon enough it may be just that, only a memory. As we leave the town, Assunta Floridou takes us to see Pepe's mural of her mother and aunt, who lived until they were 100 and 103.
The mother is...
Madre e sorella. La madre.
Ciao mamma, ciao zia. Ciao, vedi come sono carine. Ciao mamma mia.
We're with Salvatore again, who's visiting an old shepherd and his wife in Biti. They're both 95. He's keen to know how life used to be and wants advice on what he should do.
Scusa Silvio, allora il signore dice che è meglio rimanere qui perché qui nella mia posizione, per esempio, che io ho un lavoro già sicuro, è meglio prendersi il sicuro anziché cercare nuove alternative in altri posti.
Vai in campagna o in paese non trova nessuno, piuttosto siamo già invalidi perché c'è l'età.
E lavori in isola.
È giusto, però Silvio, it's fine. Go to another place for the work for experience.
She thinks you're right.
Io che gli ho carattere già...
Bene, novitate.
Novitate, esatto.
Sempre una cosa nuova.
Esperienza, capito? Ed è vero,
Sì. Quindi trattalo bene.
Certo, certo.
La nostra identità storica.
We join father and son Vito and Salvatore at their home for what's called a shepherd's lunch of bread, meat and pecorino. Life decisions are also on the menu.
Basti pensare, quando sono nato io c'erano 34, 100, 130, 150 bambini all'anno, contro i 10 e 12 che stanno nascendo ora.
Io non escludo un futuro che io possa tornare alla terra, però momentaneamente non mi sento ancora in una situazione dove fermarmi in un posto e prendere una decisione definitiva, perché per poter fare il lavoro del pastore non è una decisione che si prende dall'oggi al domani, perché in qualche modo stai sacrificando in un certo senso il tuo tempo, la tua vita quotidiana. Quindi deve essere proprio una decisione definitiva che io momentaneamente non posso garantire al mio datore di lavoro, che è lui.
Allora, è capace che magari va fuori e il tempo lo perde fuori.
Non escludo che magari fra 2, 3, 4, 5 mesi possa partire per una nuova avventura. Che lui non è d'accordo.
Io non ero d'accordo, ma non l'ho bloccato.
No, sì.
Come vuole. Il mio tempo sta passando, o è quasi passato, quindi il problema rimane nelle generazioni successive, secondo me.
The dilemma, the choices facing the Enna family are in evidence across the island. Roberta Sulis and Nicola Vacca are moving to the Netherlands with their 4-year-old son Santiago. They tried England, came back to Sardinia, but are on the move again.
We are kind of ambitious, and we discovered meritocracy in England, and so we always wanted to know what we wanted to do, and here everything is just like much more difficult, because here there's no real meritocracy, for my opinion.
I really love to stay in Sardinia, but the point is, we have two ways: or stay in Sardinia to fight to have a normal life, or try to go in Netherlands to have a new and good opportunity to live.
Sardinia is a lovely place, but just like for a holiday. I would say just for holiday and to come and visit the family. Because like at the end of the day,
no
like
future.
we leave, no, because I personally think that if you don't have a job, if you don't have money, if you're not healthy, you can't really do anything. You can't really do much.
At the English language school in Oristano, they're getting an increasing number of students learning English as a passport out of the island.
30. The TH is not a sound you make in Italian? 30. Better, okay, 30.
I wouldn't use escape, but maybe yes, move around without difficulties. Like, it's a language that it's used all over the world.
I would like to go study abroad, like, I don't know where, but abroad. And of course, English would be so important for me.
And what would your family think about you leaving?
My family agree with that. I mean, they're of course a little bit sad, but they know that I have opportunity to go somewhere else.
Students aged 15, 16 or 18 already know that the world is theirs and they need to experience the world, traveling or even going somewhere else to study. With the possibility of speaking English at a high level, you can have the chance to find more opportunities outside of Italy and Sardinia in particular.
So how to keep the island, its communities alive? There's a novel solution right in the centre of Sardinia. They're hoping to import shepherds from Kyrgyzstan. Tonino Ciotto does already have some unpaid workers. His Marimano shepherd dogs move the sheep from high to low pastures in winter and back again in summer without humans, and even guide them unaccompanied along roads past moving cars. From birth, they're raised alongside lambs, born at the same time. But Tonino needs more help and is talking on his farm to the Kyrgyz embassy. He's had Eastern Europeans before, but says many were lazy and drank too much.
Why do Kurdish shepherds want to come here?
Allora, della pastorizia che vengono qui in Italia è mancanza di lavoro. Vogliono venire qua per il lavoro.
Do they feel like this is a brotherhood of shepherds?
Sì, allora noi siamo a corte proprio della Sardegna in Kyrgyzstan e c'è tante cose coincidono. Animali, diciamo, no? Ognuna famiglia ci sono tutti gli animali perché noi lo cresciamo.
Without this help, what will happen to your animals and to your farm and your life?
Il futuro, io ho già dimezzato gli animali, perché sto lavorando da solo. Ho dovuto dimezzare, ho ottenuto il bestiame che posso gestire, è già troppo quello che mi posso gestire io. Io ho dei figli, li sto trasmettendo la stessa passione, quando finiranno le scuole, ma non so che futuro avranno nel nostro lavoro.
Nearby in Ollolai, they're trying to sell houses for €1 to attract people to the area. Prospective purchasers have to reconstruct mostly derelict buildings, and then the property is theirs.
You go first, it doesn't look that safe. Whoa, be careful. I would like to know why anybody would want to buy this house.
Ecco, questa coppia che arriva dal Sudafrica, è residente all'isola di Man, ha deciso di acquistare questa casa e di rimetterla a posto, di ristrutturarla e quindi di avere questa location che gli permetterà o di venire in vacanza, di venire a trascorrere periodi lunghi qui ad Ollolai.
Can I ask you, you're a surveyor, can this house be saved?
Ci sono diversi interventi da fare, però diciamo la struttura è buona, ci sarà un bel intervento da fare.
We've set up a video link with the buyers in Cape Town.
Roy Kaz, this is David Foster. I'm working on the programme Beyond Borders. I want to ask you one thing, if I may. The mayor and everybody want you to come and spend a lot of time here. You've got to spend a lot of money. Can you promise them that you will do that?
Yes,
Yes,
David.
we can.
Yes, we can.
You know, there's some bureaucratic things that has to be gotten through for us to get plans in place and what have you. But once that's happened, then we can get on with actually building and transforming. Yeah.
This isn't a let us just come and fall in love with Ollolai and leave it. This is part of a much bigger project for us. And one of the reasons why, after Roy surprised me with saying, would you like to buy a house in Ollolai, that we went for it, is because Ollolai and the people are very progressive in what they're doing.
There's also a €1 a month rental scheme, and families that move here are paid up to €1,000 a month for 5 years, if they have 2 children. But despite incentives, the problems remain. Just 75 people are left in Baradili. It has tennis courts, a small theme park, a swimming pool, but hardly any people.
Sports facilities that most communities would be envious of, but it is a ghost town. If they wanted to play 2 teams of 5-a-side football here for the under-10s, they'd have to bring in 6 youngsters from outside Baradili.
I'm with the mayor, Maria, and her daughter, Eleonora. They explain that the council is paying people to move here.
Sì, in pratica abbiamo utilizzato una parte dei nostri fondi di bilancio per dare un contributo economico pari a 15.000 euro per il trasferimento di nuove residenze o 10.000 euro per l'apertura di una nuova attività economica.
And is it working?
Sta funzionando, si sono trasferite Arianna Andrea, Massimiliano, si sono trasferite 3 nuove famiglie.
That won't save the town.
Yeah.
Will it?
Funziona.
Vuoi salvare?
Sì,
Vogliamo salvarlo?
Sì, lo vogliamo salvare e stiamo facendo di tutto per farlo.
You hope, espere.
Tu?
Sì,
Molta speranza.
moltissimo.
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 But 10 new people is hardly a game changer, and the mayor needs visitors, who she believes will be attracted by a personal project, a museum dedicated to a lying puppet.
Why Pinocchio? Come in, Eleanor, because you can help translate. Why Pinocchio?
Because in Pinocchio there is a Paese dei Balocchi. It's like a fantastic place where everything is perfect.
And that's what...
And that's because we want to be a Paese dei Balocchi.
Barideli.
Baradili.
Esatto.
Yeah, you wanted to be perfect.
Yes.
That's wishful thinking.
È un desiderio, cioè un proposito.
È un grande proposito, è quello che noi ci impegniamo a fare tutti i giorni. Vogliamo...
That's like ambitious.
It is, and here we have Pinocchio over here. Is this Pinocchio? He's telling lies.
Ha detto che sto dicendo bugie.
Should,
Ma il mio naso è
should
piccolo.
anybody believe you?
No, ma il mio naso è piccolo.
Her nose.
She has a small nose. Entiendo.
It smacks of desperation, but then Sardinia is desperate. It has too many old, not enough young, and unless you count Kyrgyz shepherds, €1 house buyers or tourists, not that many incomers. But what are the chances of attracting people when you have to be a real devotee of the old ways to survive in the Sardinian hills? People like Gian Pasquale Piras, who brings his cows in by riding bareback on a horse named after a Sardinian revolutionary. He then milks them by hand and uses what they give him to make a traditional Sardinian cheese called peretta. He thinks the world of social media has made young people think that life will be better anywhere else but here.
Allora, anche io ho parecchi amici che sono andati via, parecchi. Alcuni amici che comunque hanno deciso di andare via, magari per, essendosi laureati in facoltà che non avevano tanti sbocchi qua in Sardegna, hanno deciso di andare fuori. Poi ho degli amici che, pur non avendo una laurea, magari hanno scelto di tentare comunque una carriera al di fuori dell'isola. Poi le motivazioni sono molteplici. Sicuramente per un giovane in questo momento storico, dico, non è tanto semplice iniziare un'attività. Quindi magari in qualche altra regione o comunque fuori può darsi che ci siano delle agevolazioni migliori, dico. Anche se a mio parere alla fine non so quanto convenga.
The cheese is pulled and spun and eventually is pear-shaped. It's said to be sweet and aromatic and can be eaten fresh or roasted with vegetables, seasoned with honey or melted into soup. Gian Pasquale thinks his way of making it will soon go the same way as so many things that have lasted here for generations.
Ask him if in 50 years' time there will be nobody left doing what he does here.
Tra 50 anni, ottimista, tra 5. No, io lo spero.
If Gian Pasquale isn't yet ready metaphorically to ride into a sunset, he clearly doesn't see that much hope for the future.
E chi custodisce tumba venerata
Different generations are once again on show at the bar where our programme began. Salvatore and his 20-somethings, joined now by 92-year-old Daniele Cosello. Salvatore asks me for advice on what he should do. I tell him I've always loved to see new things, new people, and he nods. Seeing such togetherness across the years is to be enjoyed, but on this island, it's feared it may not last much longer.
Sublima